Hey everyone, welcome back to Gutted Podcast. This is the third episode, and I finally have a guest, so I'm not a loner. It's one of my best friends, and I actually consider her like a soul sister. She's one of my most favorite human beings. Her name is Mandari. Yeah. That was like a horrible introduction.
No, it was cute. I like it. I like
Okay,
it.
yeah. We'll like plug in all we'll give you guys all of her socials at the end of this episode. But yeah, Bandari, I guess we could talk about like how we met first and then maybe a little bit about you and what you do.
Okay. Um, so like we met because we're fans of Derek Branch and we both have been listening to his music. And the funny thing about his fans, which are called Dead Gang, is that we all listen to his music and relate to so many similar things, but we're all such introverts. We never really connected much with each other. Like some of us did, but not everyone. And
Mhm.
so Derek opened up an agency on an app, which we're not going to name and give any publicity to.
No clout.
No cloud for that app.
No.
And when he opened up an agency on it, he was looking for hosts, and Britt was already hosting. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get out of my comfort zone. I'm going to try it. I think I'm going to do this because I am definitely an introvert. I don't do this
Mhm.
whole talking to people thing very well. So so I was like, let me go try to meet some other people in Dead Gang and see how they host and what they talk about and things like that. So Brit's Live was actually one of the first lives that I went into, and my other friend Rebecca was in there, and Steph, and I think Oso was in there.
Mhm.
So yeah, we all just started talking and realized how much we had in common, and things just escalated quickly from there.
They
We all-
escalated. Now like we're all super close. Well, I would say like a few of us aren't as close as we used to be, but a few of us are like super close. We talk every day, all day. Like we'll all be at work with our fucking headphones in talking to each other while we're working. It's I don't know.
Definitely.
I'm so thankful for you guys. Like I like cry about it a lot. I'm just happy to have met genuine people. And I'm thankful that we like I don't know, everything happens for a reason. Like fuck that app we were on, but also like I'm thankful for that app. Like I'm thankful for that app because I wouldn't have been as close to you guys um if it wasn't for that app, I don't think, to be honest.
Yeah. It brought us all together for sure. And so it served its purpose. And just like slight tiny backstory, we don't like that app because they kept banning us all for everything. And so
Mhm.
you couldn't consistently stream and like get followers and make money. So we just got mad at it and just, you
I didn't make no money. They took my money. Shit. I
know.
didn't. Yeah, at first,
Yeah.
I didn't think like just like a quick little story. I think it was like we met on a panel, and a panel is when like it's like not up to nine people can like be video chatting. And at first I was scared of Mandari because she looks scary. Like she just looks like she could beat some ass. And I was like, oh, she does not like me. And I remember the first time I saw you were outside walking. I think you were with Yummy too. And I was like, oh my gosh, is she walking a cat? I'm like, I
So
was like,
weird.
okay. I was like fucking weirdo. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah,
I'm gonna,
that's how we
yeah,
met. And
I
then
know.
now we go on trips and shit together. So like we've been to Vegas, Florida. We're planning more trips.
I
Yeah.
know. I mean, I've been told many times that I come off like intimidating a little bit. And it's not like I try I take it back. I do try to. I actually pride myself in being unapproachable, but not
Mhm.
to people like friends. It's more like to guys I don't want to be approached by and stuff like that. I just,
About that.
you know what I mean? So, and like, so it's not intentional sometimes. I just look that way. It's just my face. What am I going to do?
You're an Aries. It's okay. Like, but like, if you care about someone, you're like the sweetest soul. So, I mean, it's whatever. But at first, I was just like, I think she hates me. And I never had a conversation with you, which is stupid to assume that. But yeah. Uh, so now that we
Everybody
got like
thinks
a
that.
little introduction out of the way, I have a few topics that I kind of like wrote down that we're going to talk about, but knowing us, we're probably going to just start talking about everything, which is cool with me because that's just how we talk anyways. So,
Mm.
um, I guess we could talk about like first every day we usually talk about like spirituality, which I love. So, how about like when did you start like digging into that, and what does it mean to you, and like how has it changed your life so far?
Oh man. So I didn't know much about it because I didn't really know any other spiritual people. And I actually started looking into it probably about 7 or 8 years ago. Um, because I was like seeing some things that weren't cool. And then I found out my twin brother was seeing them at the same time. And I was like, oh God, like this is not good. We have to figure out how to get rid of this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started looking into it a little bit, just like cleansing like your home and getting rid of negative energy and things like that. And then I kind of fell off with it for a while because my life was so chaotic. I just like wasn't in a good place to even like seek that spiritual journey. Um, and then like when I started talking to you guys and you were spiritual, I started learning so much from you and started gaining an interest in it and then started doing a lot more research myself. So I would say probably like 2 years ago, I
Mm-hmm.
really started getting into it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. It's like a
Yeah.
lot of people don't like talking about that type of stuff, or they feel as if you like start talking about spirituality like you're like shoving it down your throat like people do with religion. But like spirituality is literally learning to love yourself and learning that the answers are within. Like it's literally you are God. Like you know what I mean? So I don't know.
Right.
So I don't like trying like when I meet people, I don't automatically start talking about spirituality because I don't want to seem like I'm shoving it down anyone's throat. But at the same time, I want to push you because I want you to realize
Mm.
that you have all the answers within you, and you literally are just so powerful. That's it.
I know, I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I just really it makes me happy when I can see somebody on their spiritual journey and they're finding like fulfillment within their life and they're just feeling more positive and like manifesting great things for themselves. That just makes me so happy.
Me too. It makes my heart happy. I feel like that's my sole purpose is to like spread light. And I think any empath is that way. Like they like seeing people do well in life. And then also I feel I don't like push people to heal, but I like having conversations that have people like think, you know what I mean? They're like and start digging into healing and into the childhood trauma and starting the shadow work and all that. But yeah, so I guess the next topic that I wanted to talk about was something we were talking about a few weeks ago, which was like we were talking about what we think happens after we die.
Oh yeah.
And I think you saw like a TikTok or something where someone said they saw a whole bunch of screens.
There's so many different things right now, like theories and stuff, and I know
Yeah.
some of them sound so off the wall, but, like, I do believe that there's truth to most things in life, and if people are having this common thread of this experience, then maybe it's somewhat valid somehow, you know?
Hmm.
If some people say when you die and your body releases, what is it, DMT or whatever,
Yeah.
and then you go through that, you hallucinate. So people think that that's why people have like near death experiences when they're brought back and they have these stories to tell. And some people think that when you die for a moment that you're able to experience something of the afterlife and come back and tell the story about it. So
Hmm.
I guess it's all just like in what you believe or what you feel to be true.
Yeah.
But I think all of it's very fascinating. But in that TikTok, basically the girl said that she died for quite some time to the point where she had to go through like a lot of physical therapy and things, and she had lost some of her like brain function because she was dead for that long.
Hmm.
And it turned out that when she was supposedly in this afterlife for moments, it looked like a simulation, like a room where there was a lot of people sitting behind screens watching people live their lives. And I don't think they necessarily had control, but they were just all kind of like watching us do whatever we do, which is kind of terrifying. Think about it. Like, imagine we
I
were on a TV
know.
show right now
Oh
and
my
somebody was just watching
gosh.
everything we do. Like,
I
I
know
would,
they're probably like, this poor bitch going through it.
imagine just like being sick in the bathroom or like private moments. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you're like
oh
in bed
no, I
doing
can't. That's
things, and then they tune into your channel, your frequency, and they're like, what is Brittany doing right now? And then they're like, oh, that's what she's doing.
that girl's really boring. All she does is sleep all day and work.
Yeah,
Like.
what a boring bitch.
Oh, this person's life is really interesting. They party every weekend and bring somebody different home.
Yeah. Yes. I think that theory, that's the thing, is like we don't have the answers. We don't know what happens after we die. So it does boil down to what everyone believes, like, what they believe, with how what they think happens, or whatever their personal beliefs, because that can also tie into like religion. If you follow a certain religion and they say this happens after death, then you're probably going to believe that's what happens after death. But personally, I don't know. Like, I feel like when we die, and if we've lived out our karmic cycles and all that, and we've I hate the word woke, but if we've like awakened and
Yeah.
ascended, and we're not living in like the third dimensional vibrations, and um I think after you pass, like you've lived the human experience, so you're not going to be reincarnating, you're not going to live life again. And I think that earth is like the third dimensional is hell because of all the pain we go through. I think that is my interpretation of hell. So once we learn to deal with all the traumas and all that, and we move forward, we go on to the next dimension, which definitely would not be this shitty ass dimension
Agree.
with
Yeah,
the
no.
shitty ass people.
What I believe is pretty close to what you believe. I don't know if this is necessarily hell, but it certainly feels like it to most these days.
Yeah.
And to me, I do feel like that we live lives until we get to the point that we've lived and died enough that we reach like a certain level of enlightenment, and then
Hmm.
we ascend somewhere.
Yeah.
Um, maybe what people would consider heaven, but I don't believe that energy ever dies. It just transforms. So,
Exactly.
even when we die, like our energy goes somewhere, you know what I mean? But
You
where that
can't
is up
create
to your
or
interpretation. Yeah.
destroy it. You can't
So,
create or destroy it.
yeah.
But
Yeah. And I think that for me, um, I've had like personal experiences where I can like feel like I've recognized things like from past lives, like
yeah.
deja vu type things. And I know a lot of people do, which is really crazy.
Hmm.
Like reoccurring dreams. Like I've had reoccurring dreams since I was a small child about being a person on a bench and getting shot in the back of the head. Like, and I've had it my whole life, this dream. So I feel like maybe that was something from a past life, even.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Do you have like any marks on the back of your head? Like, have you ever heard that wherever your birthmark is like where you died in your past life?
Mm. So what's actually insane is that I'm a twin. I have a twin brother, and he doesn't have any birthmarks, but I have one on my head, and it is two dots connected by a line. So you can't see it because obviously I have hair, but yes, I do. And I've heard that too, like people that have on their stomach or in
Yeah.
different places in their body, that's like how they were injured and died. That's very fascinating too.
Shave your head. Shave. Let us see it.
I don't even know what side it's on. I would have to look at baby pictures to try to see.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I think my birthmark's like on the back of one of my knees, but since we're talking about dreams, I've always had this reoccurring dream. I usually never remember my dreams unless they're super vivid and I like remember every detail about them. But I've always had this one dream where I was in a mall, like an inside mall, and it was like the end of the world. Like everyone was like scurrying and like trying to find food and like just going crazy, and it's always in a mall, so I kind of have like, I'm kind of scared to go to the mall. I'm like always like, oh my
Mhm.
god, if I go to the mall the world's gonna end. Yeah.
Oh god. What is that?
Yeah.
That reminds me of those George Romero zombie movies, like the one where they all go to the mall and there's like a zombie apocalypse. I can't
Yes,
remember.
that's what it was
The,
like. I
the
swear.
Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead. I don't know, one of
Yes,
those
Dawn
ones.
of the Dead or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever think of like a zombie apocalypse could happen?
With the way that diseases are coming up, I feel like something somewhat like that could definitely exist, especially because it already exists in the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
Like there's a fungus that can overtake like bodies of insects and stuff and like small mammals or amphibians to like control them until they die, basically. So
Oh,
like if that's possible, then why couldn't it be possible for humans one day, which is kind of scary to me. I
it
hope
is
I don't live to see anything like that. I'll say
me
that.
neither. And I think that like with how advanced we are with technology, if someone really wanted to create something like that, like set out something like a virus or something, like it could be done. If they wanted to, it could be done. Like why did you well, I think it was you that sent me this, the Amazon like disclosure where it talks about like hatchets and zombie apocalypse and shit. Did
Oh
you see
Lord, I don't
that?
even know. It sounds like something I would send, but I don't
I
remember.
know.
I read
Also,
so much all the time. It's ridiculous.
someone sent me, or I watched something, and it was like a hatchet or something that if when you buy it, like if you read like the little disclosures and stuff, it talks about um like a zombie apocalypse. And I'm just like, why would they add that in there? Why would they add that in there?
There's actually a machete that you can buy that has it on there. I may have told you about that like a
Oh,
very long time ago.
machete. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a machete you can get that actually says that on there, but it's just like, I mean, it's an actual sharp machete, but it's like a gimmick to put it on there, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
But
Well, that shit's crazy to me. I don't know. I hope that I don't think we'll live long enough to like see any of that happen because the earth is dying. Hello, people. No, I'm just kidding. So
yeah,
I don't think we have I think we have like 5 years max on this earth before shit goes crazy and we all die. But you know.
yeah. I mean, yeah, we can be nihilists, but I mean, I don't know. To me, it's realistic at the rate things are going and, with global warming and how we're polluting the
Yeah.
planet.
Hmm.
And nobody's taking it seriously. And by the time they do, it's just going to be too late. So,
Yeah, I think that's what I like global warming. I think it's already too late to try to turn back and, reverse that shit, which we could if our government like actually use money to do it. We could do it, but fuck capitalism on
yeah.
on God. Um,
Mm.
another thing I wanted to talk about was twin flames and soulmates because I know you're going through wait, oh my God, I will edit that out. I'm gonna edit that
No, no, that's okay. We can talk about it.
we
I won't
can.
name it. Yes, I already said, hey, this is coming up. I'm going to talk about it. I'm
Okay,
not,
good. Okay, I don't gotta edit it. I can live by
I'm
my
not
rule of
naming
no
any
editing.
names.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Mm,
okay. Hey,
yeah.
twin flames and so
uh,
okay.
so I've
Yeah.
always heard of twin flames and
Hmm.
soulmates. Probably more so about soulmates, because who can't relate to that? You meet somebody, you feel like you help build each other up. You have so much in common, all these type things for a soulmate. But I had read about twin flames, but never knew much about them. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
just it's something new to me that I just started hearing about. And I bought myself a piece of malachite, and then like a week later, dun, da, da, I ran into somebody that I am 100% sure is my twin flame.
Hmm. That's I've always heard about like the soul, like what you said, soulmates. I didn't know about twin flames till maybe like 6 years ago. And that's only because my mom, eventually met her husband and like their twin flames. And I think it's just like it's soulmate on crack. Like soulmates are karmic partners and they can be friendships or relationships like platonic or romantic. And they serve their purpose. They teach you the lessons, whether it be a week or 20 years, like you know what I mean. So like once they have served their purpose of teaching you what needs to be taught, that's you can have multiple soulmates is what I'm trying to say, but only one twin flame. And the fact that you met your twin flame is so cool. Like do you want to talk about like how
Yeah.
you like, felt when you met?
Oh God, it's insane. Like, I feel like a lot of things in life, I'm a realist. Like, I'm yes, spirituality is one thing, but for most things in life, I want like science-based facts. So like
Yeah.
I'm already kind of apprehensive to the idea of a lot of these things, but it was kind of like I had read about it, but like literally when I met this person, it was like I looked at him and I felt like I knew him for my whole life. Like
Mm-hmm.
there was just like an energy between us. Like when I went to give him a hug and like just knew that
Mm-hmm.
there was something different about the situation. Like it was a crazy feeling, and it was like something that I could tell like he noticed, but we both just didn't say anything about it
Yeah.
until like after I had started talking to him for a little while and like brought it up like, so what do you think about like past lives? You know what I mean? Do you think it's possible that we could live and die and be like coming back and then have maybe some memories of a past life or something? And he's like, yeah, I don't know, like it's a possibility, you know what I mean? And I was just like, well, I know this is like crazy, but I feel like I've known you forever. Like I don't know why, but there's something different about you. And like I think everybody has gifts. Everybody has different gifts, and if you are aware of them, you can in on them and grow them.
Mm-hmm.
And his gift is that he can like touch people and read different things about them and what they've gone through in their life. So he touched me and told me a bunch of things about myself that there's no way he could have possibly known.
That's
So
so crazy.
it was insane. But like, I don't know, it's just like you look at their eyes and they're so familiar to you. Like you just
Mhm.
know this person. Like a twin flame is like almost like a mirror of your soul,
Yes.
or like if your soul split in two for some reason and you've been searching for the other half of yourself for your whole life, and
There
then
he
you
is.
finally find it. Yeah.
You're like so
Right,
drawn
like
to them. Yeah. It's just like
right, like you yes,
it's a
finally find
crazy
it.
feeling. Yeah. To like
Mhm.
feel so drawn to somebody and you don't know why. It's like, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. This Zoom was fucking tweaking. Um, so I think it's crazy like when you're drawn to someone and it's like an instant connection, whether you've talked, whether you've talked for a long time or not, or if you've met or you haven't, like there's always just like it once you when you know, and like I think it's super important to trust your intuition. So I think that's insane that like you knew this person before, but when you
Mhm.
like physically met, it was a whole different energy, obviously. But to experience that type of like connection and like feeling like you know someone for your whole entire life is way different. And that's so cool. I was so hyped to hear that from you when it happened.
Yeah. It's one of those things that when you experience it, you just know. You'll know immediately that this person is different, and somehow you just know, like it's almost like a static between you, like the energy is like that intense. It's insane.
Yeah.
And so I've spent a lot of time talking to him, but he's actually coming to visit me this week. So I'm like hoping, I'm like really hoping that somehow with interacting with him while he's here visiting, that maybe I will be able to recall some of these like past life regression type thing. I don't know. Maybe I
Yeah.
will, maybe I won't, you know what I mean? But it would be so cool if there was some kind of an inkling of something that would make me remember. But it's cool to know that he's there. And now I feel like with twin flames, you're supposed to learn something together, and they're supposed to push you spiritually to
Yes.
be like in a higher place. So I'm anxious to see like where this journey goes for sure.
Does so do you think after this trip, if you do, I don't know, like start remembering things, or do you think that feelings could grow more and turn into something, or where do you want this like experience to go?
So here's where it gets
Or
complicated.
I shouldn't say where do you want, like what is your intuition? You know what I mean?
um I feel like I have a very good intuition on everything in life.
Yeah.
But when it comes to trying to see, like I always say, oh, you have to know 3 steps ahead, like 3 steps in advance. You should know these moves ahead of time. I look at this and I have no idea. Like,
Mhm.
but it's slightly complicated too, though, because he's married,
Dun
and
dun dun.
we're we're not out here cheating or anything of the likes, okay? And I know it's very taboo,
Yeah.
but him and his wife are open to the idea of having like a poly relationship, which is something I've
Mhm.
always been vehemently against. Like, because I'm a jealous person, I'm an Aries. Like, I'm just going to tell you that. Like, not to the point where I would like prohibit somebody from doing what they love or
Yeah.
not trust them, but just like I like to have somebody to myself. So, like, the only reason I'm even considering this, I mean, she's cool as hell too, but the only reason I'm considering this is because of me recognizing that he's a twin flame.
Yeah.
So, like, on one hand, it's like I'm just like giving myself the opportunity to see if I would be happy in that situation. If I'm not, then I have to be honest with myself and admit that and say, okay, like I'll see you next life and hopefully things line up the way they're supposed to next time around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but, you know, I guess I'm just gonna see, like, I'm gonna give myself the
Yeah.
opportunity and go out of my comfort zone and just see if this is something I'm okay with, and if it is, then cool. Having one person love you is cool, but maybe having 2 people love you is cool too. Like, I don't know. So I'm just being open-minded, trying to see where things go, and if they aren't, then maybe we can have a follow-up later and I can cry to you about how terrible
We'll have it.
it.
We'll have another episode of us just crying. No, but I think that's so brave of you because I'm kind of the same way. Like I've only been in 3 serious relationships, so and I'm the type of like partner where I like knowing this person's loyal. But when if you're in a poly relationship, it's like there's 2 or even more people, so it's scary territory. Like I I used to be against it, but lately, like hearing other people's stories, hearing your stories, and like really thinking about it, I
Mhm.
would be open to it in depending on the situation. So like it would really depend on the situation and the person and all that. Like that's such a new thing to jump into, especially when you're
Mhm.
used to be against it or you're just not like with that.
Yeah, I'm
But
very
I
old-fashioned. This is insane for me. Like, this is
yeah, when
completely
you
insane
told
for me.
me, I was like,
Yeah.
what? What
Yeah.
the heck?
I would never, if I mean, it's only because he's my twin flame. Like, I would never. It's just it can be really complicated, but I will say both of them communicate very well and are very honest with each other and me, and are very open-minded too. And he's very spiritual, and I believe that she's getting there. She's still learning too. So I
Mhm.
don't know, like at
Yeah, you
least we're
never
all
know.
very open and honest with each other about everything. So there's
Yeah.
that.
I think it's important to experience something new like that. Like if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. And you now that you know now you know you're not really with that and you
Hmm.
learned something, like it's gonna hurt, but at least you learned something you wouldn't have known if you didn't try. Or it could work out and it's gonna be the most amazing,
Yeah.
relationship of your life. Like you just never know. But I'm so excited to see like it's like a fucking reality show. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait for them to come and I can't wait to hear what happens. And I'm rooting for
Right.
you though. You deserve love and you deserve that. You deserve that type of connection.
Thank you. And like I think it's like I don't know, like I'm kind of warming up to the idea of it.
Yeah.
If he wasn't so freaking amazing in every way, like I said I wouldn't consider it, but he's just really thoughtful and inclusive, and I don't know, I just love his energy. So I don't, we'll see.
And
But
you
yeah,
can't help which who you're drawn to and the situation that might come of it. Like I think
yeah.
that um I think being now that I've been thinking more lately about like poly or just being with a woman, like I've been always been attracted to women. I
Mhm.
think they're beautiful. I think they're powerful, just not sexually. Like, but I think having a relationship with a woman, like an emotional connection, could be really, it could be an amazing thing if it worked out because, you know, women tend to be more emotional and understanding. So that might be cool. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sexually attracted to women either. I think they're beautiful. I think human bodies are like art. They're all beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, so it's not really a sexual thing. But it's, I don't know, like
Never
I,
say never. I'm just kidding.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to be open-minded. But yeah, thanks, Malachite. Like
Damn you, Malachi.
But they have both said, you know, if like I decide or we decide that this is not something we can like move forward with, that we would all still try to be friends. Like she understands this whole twin flame thing and respects it and doesn't want him to like not have communication with me. So even
That's
if we all said, you know,
awesome.
yeah, she's really dope. So even though it's like, okay, maybe if she decided she wasn't comfortable or if they think it's not healthy or something, or I decide I just can't do it, then it's like they would like to take time, but then still for us all to be able to communicate and everything. So,
That's
um,
great. See, this is what communication does. It just makes life easier. It just
yeah,
makes life easier, makes things easier. Not always, but it helps. It does.
yeah. I mean, it makes me glad because I wouldn't want to be now that I have found him. I wouldn't want to like not have him in my life some way, shape, or form. So,
Yeah, that's how I
yeah.
feel about someone else in my life as well. Like I can
Hmm.
have or it's not what I thought it was, but I don't want to like continue on without at least having, a bond with them. It doesn't have to be romantic like it used to be, but it can still be something because I do feel a strong connection, like a bond with them. And it's okay to let things go, but still keep like a good energy between people or things.
Hmm.
Like I think people should learn that. I mean, I'm not saying you should be friends with your exes, but if your relationship ends like on a good note, if that makes sense, like it's okay to like keep checking in on them and all that. But I don't know where that came from.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, if you can relate to any of this, it's good to hear what you have to say too, like a different perspective
Yeah.
of something similar, you know.
Yeah.
But I will say one of the things I've learned in doing research on this crazy, crazy twin flame thing the past few weeks is that there is like um, a chasing dynamic between them. Like
Yep.
one will chase and the other one will run, and then they'll
Hmm.
switch positions. And it's because of how intense the energy is and the connection is that it can be overwhelming and scary.
Scares them.
Um,
Yep. So they run and then they're
yeah,
like, hey, why you're
get back
chasing me?
here.
I'm gonna run. And then they're like, you know what? You stop chasing me. Okay, I'm gonna chase you. And then you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna run. And then it's like a fucking circle, a loop.
Yeah, I mean, it's since it's such an intense connection, there's definitely it feels like it's a lot emotionally at stake. It's kind of like you're handing somebody a gun and hoping they don't blow you away. It's like,
Yeah. It's
here's my
that
entire
intense.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, oh man. So that's kind of an adjustment, but he's I don't want to sound cliche, but he's not like other guys. Like he's very respectful and communicates well and like not
Oh,
toxic in any way. And
I
like
wish.
he he like is very much okay with having like some, I don't want to say like feminine traits because he's not like feminine, but just like accepting of things that other men might find to be toxic, you know what I mean?
I love
For the
that.
betterment of himself to not be like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It's got to be like a healthy balance of masculine and feminine energy. I love a man that can embrace
yes,
the feminine side of himself. There's nothing wrong. It's not gay. Like
right.
I think it's I admire men that can go out and speak about emotions or cry or wear
Mhm.
certain clothes or wear makeup or knit like whatever they want to do. I think it makes you more of a man in my eyes because you're not well like why who are you trying to like prove that you're not, you know what I mean? Like you're just trying to like show off to other men. Like, who cares what other people think? If a man does not care what other people think, especially what other men think, like, that's amazing to me.
Yeah, I agree. And if you think about it, most of the things that men do aren't to really appeal to women, it's to appeal to other men. So it's
Y'all
to
gay
appeal,
as hell.
yeah, it's to appeal to male gaze. Like they
I
do,
know.
all right.
crazy. Y'all be like, y'all be fixing up your cars to be all fast for other men. Y'all be doing the most for other men. Y'all don't even care what us women think. Y'all just want us in the kitchen and shit like that. Like y'all just care what men think. Y'all need to question
Mhm.
your sexuality. Who do you really like?
Yeah.
Look in the mirror right now and ask, who do you really like?
Who are you actually trying to attract? Because you going to get washboard abs and having to be gone after work every day is not what we want. Like, yeah, okay, if working out makes you feel happy and it makes you feel good about yourself, great. But I'm talking about the guys that obsess about it and like talk about it all the time and like act like it's a personality trait, like just to work out. Those guys
Ew.
are not doing it. Women don't give a fuck about that shit.
Meathead. Yeah.
Yeah, like we care when somebody is present, like mentally and supportive and
Yes.
loving and honest and communicates and wants to grow and build together. Like that's the kind of stuff we care about. So they do that for the male gaze because they want to impress other men. So yes,
Mhm.
who are you actually attracted to? Like question your sexuality, because the
Yes.
men out here that embrace femininity and the ones that can see the power that women hold and embrace that part of themselves, I think those are the guys that are winning out here. Just saying.
Yes, they are. Yeah, like I don't know. I just think like if I see a guy's bio, I'm not on dating apps, but if I was on dating apps and I saw a guy's bio that was like gym 10 days a week, even though there's not 10 days a week, like I only eat steak and I fucking drive a F360, whatever the fuck those cars are called. I would swipe left. Like I am not, no. Is it right or left? I don't even know. But if I
I
saw a
don't
man's bio that was like I'm honest, I communicate like shit like that, like I better
know.
fuck with that other guy because I don't give a fuck that you're in the gym 24/7 or that you have a fucking lifted truck. Okay, cool, bro. Like who are you trying to amaze? Like you just want to look cool to other men and it's just too much for me. It's a no.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like ironic because they do all these things to attract women, but they're just appealing to other men to impress them. And it's just, I don't know. Like you should have Becca on here one day to talk about this stuff because she
I know. I have to ask her to come on my because I want to talk to her about like being a mom and dating and like just being a woman in general because she can
oh
go off about that shit and I love it.
she knows so much. And like I do too. I totally indulge in
Of
her
course.
conversations about that stuff and we
Mhm.
talk about it all the time. The topic of like how relationships kind of seem like they're doomed because
They
men have to be
are.
likable. Men have to be likable and like they don't want to be likable. They just want to do what they do and have us be accepting of it. But women don't need men anymore. So like
No, we
if they're
don't.
not like yeah, like women have jobs. Women aren't so oppressed to the point that we aren't getting paid and like expected to be in the home and all this kind of stuff. So we have independent lives, even though we're not getting paid as much as we should and the same as our male counterparts. We're still able to survive on our own without men.
Yeah.
So like we're in a place where, just within the past, I don't know, like 40 years or so, 50 maybe at the most, women are really independent. And now men are finding themselves that women aren't putting up with their bullshit of whatever they do because before they needed to depend on them. And
And now
now
we
that we
don't.
don't, yeah, now that we don't, we just aren't putting up with it. So a lot of women and men are single out here because women don't want to stay in the situations if a man isn't likable.
Yeah,
Like we're
and
not
it's
willing to accept, you
yeah.
know?
And I think that
Mhm.
also like the whole independent woman, like of course there's still women out here that are lazy and do rely on men and that's because they're weak and they haven't healed their trauma. But there are women that are independent and have worked on their trauma and are sure of themselves and they don't need a man. Like your partner is only supposed to like help you grow and like better your life. They're not supposed they should like help you with giving you tools. They shouldn't be the one actually hammering or watering. You should be doing that already. And I think
Mhm.
that like yeah, relationships, I don't think they're fully doomed, but it's hard to it's hard to come across someone that you can even have like a nice conversation with because they usually are just so into themselves or they just want to hook up with you or whatever the case may be. It's just like relationships nowadays are just not, I don't know. They're not the same as they were years ago. Like, and I think that there's a lot of new factors with like social media and just new trends and stuff like that. That plays a part in why relationships are just not it. But I
Yeah.
mean, I want a relationship, but at the same time, I don't put up with anyone's bullshit. I see a red flag, I'm out. Like
Yeah.
I'm not sitting around waiting. I'm not healing you.
No,
I'm not doing any of that shit. I'm not. I need someone to come correct. They need to be stable and sure of themselves. I'm not asking someone to be perfect, but you can't be coming to me with fucking years of trauma and all this other bullshit. Like, nah, I don't need you. I can do it all by myself, like I have been. So, what can you provide to me that
right.
will enhance my life? Because guess what? My life's pretty good without a man. What can you do? What can we do for each other to enhance our lives? Like, what can you teach me,
Exactly.
bitch? What can you teach
Yeah.
me?
Likable, have to be likable. Yeah, so I think for me it's been frustrating trying to date anybody because I've healed myself. Like, I mean, of course I'm still on a journey of healing. Like, I feel like that never ends, you
Yeah,
know.
it doesn't.
But I know how to communicate. I know what my triggers are. I know what kind of trauma I've been through. I've healed it. Like, I've done all
Yeah.
these different things. And then it's like you try to date somebody and they don't even know how to communicate, or they shut down. They don't know how to identify their emotions. And they have toxic traits, like expecting you to do all the household chores, raise the kids, and you work full time just like they do. And they come in and they sit down and game, or they just plop down and chill. And it's like,
Yeah,
we're not your mom. Like, we're not here to raise you. Like,
or
you
you're
have to
made.
pull your weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if you can't even help with the chores or the kids or whatever, then what is the point of having you? Because we're literally just a slave for you. Like, we're just doing everything for you and taking care of ourselves. Like, we're better off without you, because you're
Yeah.
just another liability at that point. Because we have a dependent already if you have kids, and then you have a grown ass man that's a dependent that you have to take care of every need for. Now, I'm not saying that,
Literally.
yeah, like, if you're in a relationship, of course you want to do things for your partner, but that doesn't mean you should be the one doing everything for your partner. Like, there should be
Pulling all the
shared,
weight. Yeah.
yeah, there should be shared things. Like, I don't believe in gender roles. Like, men should help clean the house too. They should help raise the kids too, especially since everybody's working full time now.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree 100%. I think
Mm.
it's like a lot of men have been conditioned to think that women are here to serve them, that we were born to serve them. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, if it weren't for women, you wouldn't even be here, bro. So sit down and
Yeah.
relax. But
Mhm.
I think that's what turns me off most about talking to anyone. Like, I swear, like, I can have a conversation with someone and then like 5 minutes into it, I already know if this would be something that could turn into something or nothing at all, because I don't know. Like, my intuition, but also like seeing the red flags immediately. It's like, if you can't communicate like an adult about certain things, then what we're not doing anything. This isn't going to go any further because I'm not wasting any more time. We could be homies and that's it.
Yeah, like, if you're gonna, like, I have peace in my life and I have everything I need. Of course, it would be so great to have a partner to do it with.
Of course.
But if like somebody's gonna come into my life and disrupt my peace, it better be for great cause, and they better be amazing. Because if they're not, they're getting cut out, because I'm good. I don't need somebody to come in and make my life
Extra
worse.
stress. Yeah. I
Mhm.
need someone. I don't need someone. I I want someone that's gonna come into my life and want to experience things and help me grow and build and like all these positive things. I don't need the extra stress. I don't want the drama. I'm not into that. Like, a lot of people actually like drama and toxic relationships. Like, I've already been through years of that and I'm good. I will never in my life be in a
Mm,
toxic relationship. I don't care if I think I'm in love with you. I think if you're the greatest thing, like, if you're toxic and you got to
yeah,
go into the
yeah,
trash.
yeah. I don't know how many billions of people are we up to in the world? Like, 9
Bruh,
billion or something.
right?
Like,
You
you
think you're
worried
the
about
one for
one
me? Bye.
one toxic asshole? Like, I'm good.
Yeah, like, why did we ever do that? I wish I would have known what I know now, because back then I was in some toxic ass relationships. Why the hell would I stay years? Like, I ain't staying 2 seconds now, but back then I was staying years and years. But that's probably because I wasn't working on myself and healing and all that. I was weak and I was okay with dealing with that because I was fucking scared and terrified and didn't know what would happen if I left the relationship. So it was comfortable to me, so I stayed. Fuck that.
I think a lot of pressure is put onto us with this whole idea of getting married and having this fairy tale life with this man that you love, and having this perfect life. So you get into a relationship and you do something serious like move in together or get engaged or get married, and you think, "Oh my god, I have to make this work. I can't be a failure. I can't fail at this." Like, you know, I want to have that life and I got to fight for it. And so I think a lot of women give up their identities and give up all the things they like to cater to a man, and try to make this relationship work even if it's really toxic and the other partner isn't pulling their weight in the relationship. Um just trying to achieve that, you know what I mean? And then when they get out of the relationship, because inevitably it doesn't work out, they have to find who they are again because they've given up everything for that person. They've given up their friends, they've given up their hobbies and their
Yeah.
likes,
Ooh,
and it's horrible, you know? And
yeah.
I think in the same token, a lot of men get into relationships and need to feel needed by women. So they find like a damsel in distress, you know, like somebody that's in a bad situation that maybe shouldn't be searching for a relationship, but
Yeah.
they run into each other and he sees her and she's, you know, in a bad way. And so they want to help her. But then it's like they help that person and they get to the point where they don't need that person, that the man anymore. And then they leave, and like, or the relationship isn't like valid to them anymore because now the person doesn't need them, and
Mm-hmm.
um it's not giving them that affirmation of needing to feel needed. So
So they move,
it's
they try to find something new to spark the
mhm,
flame. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah. I saw this one video of a monk, or no, monks don't talk.
Yeah,
Buddhist? It was a Buddhist. Oh my gosh. Well, he basically said that um to never really, and this isn't like word for word obviously because I can't remember word for word, but he was basically saying that um the only person that you should love unconditionally and 100% and give 100% is yourself, because
absolutely.
because you can find someone that you love, but it's not forever. Like they could pick up and leave. So
Mhm.
what are you gonna how are you gonna feel, and what are you gonna do when if they decide to pick up and leave? You can't just crumble. You really have to be there for yourself. So I think if you don't love yourself, like this is corny but it's true, if you don't love yourself, you can't love someone else. You can't.
Absolutely.
Have to find the answers within and love yourself unconditionally as you are. And then once the right person comes along, it's just like they're only adding to your happiness and your growth. And that always stuck with me because it's like, I think we're also conditioned to, you have to find a man or a woman that's beautiful, or a man that has a good job, a woman that knows how to cook and clean and take care of kids, a man that can work and make money and all that. But like, why are we conditioned to like find these types of people when we can do that for ourselves and
Mhm.
find someone who can match that energy, mirror you? And then like it's better because you guys mirror each other, and it's just that's when it's the best, I think, is when you can match each other's energy, and that's when you really like evolve together and grow as a person. I just think that like marriage in itself and relationships are so like the social, like the society's views on them is just trash. It's trash.
Yeah. It's kinda, like, put in all of our heads, and I think this is, like, most cultures that I'm aware of. It's put into everybody's head that you find this person, you have a family with them, you grow old with them, that's, like, the climax of life, that's, like, what you aim for your entire life, that's what you try to gain,
Yeah.
and it's like, but, like, I don't feel like that should be the same for everybody. Like, there's some people that wanna be parents, it's in their soul, that's what they want, they've always known they wanna be a mom, you know, or a
Mm-hmm.
dad. And then
Mm-hmm.
there's some people, like, that never wanna have kids, like me, fuck them kids, I don't wanna have them, I don't
Fuck
wanna be a
them
mom.
kids.
Yeah, fuck them kids. So, like, why is it that then I'm looked at as less of a woman or less of a person because I
Right.
haven't done it? Like, I've literally had people be like, "But you might change your mind," or "Why would you say that? It's the most wonderful thing and the most fulfilling thing to be a mom." And I'm like, "I don't think it's fulfilling. Like, not for
Yeah.
me."
That's
Like,
your choice. Yeah.
yeah, and so, I don't think there should be this one standard of what life should look like in order to be happy. Like, some people may not find a mate and just really focus on their life goals and, whatever it is that they're passionate about in their life.
Me.
Like, yeah, and that's kind of how I feel at this point. I don't know where this whole flame thing is going, but I agree. Like, to me, it's kind of like I'm accepting that I may never find anybody that matches my energy in a relationship
Yeah.
at
I
this point.
felt that. I felt that. And
Mhm.
sometimes I'd be sad about it. Like, especially at night, I'd be like, damn, it'd be cool to have someone to hang with and talk to.
Mhm.
But then at the other side, I'm like, I would rather be working on myself and on my business and my dreams and all that and not have to stress and be in a toxic relationship. So it's only human to feel that, like to feel to want to be loved and touched by someone else. You know what I mean?
Oh, and human touch is so important. Like, having
Yes.
intimacy, yeah, having
Oh, I want to
intimacy with
hug so
someone.
bad.
I know, like, I wanna be able to hug somebody and, like, plan things with them and build a life with them too. It's so important. But at the same time, like, the moment I start dating somebody and they do something really fucking stupid, I'm like, "And this is why we don't date. And this is why you
Yes.
like your silent life when you get home to your cat Yummy and you just hang out in bed with her, because this is the kind of shit that people are on, like."
We love Yummy.
Yes, we love Yummy.
Yes, I mean, look, okay, so like your Yummy is my daughter. Like, yes, I
Yeah.
have a kid, but like, I don't know. I think about it's different when you like, of course, I want someone romantically and all that, but at the same time, it's like, damn, when I think about how people are and like how toxic things can be, I would rather just come home, work on my like work, hustle and work on my shit and build memories with my daughter. And if someone comes along in the future and can like mirror me and change and like bring like positivity to my life, then that's great. If not, I'm literally okay with being alone. I think
Yeah.
once you master like isolation and self-love
Mhm.
and being alone, you really don't need anybody. You don't.
Oh, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. It's like it's going to take an amazing soul for you to even consider having somebody in your life because you're
Yes.
so good on your own.
Yes.
And
That's
I don't know.
empowering. That's empowering.
It is, and in its own way, it's empowering. It can feel lonely sometimes, but like I said, the moment something happens where somebody just does something really ridiculous, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like,
It's like an
I'm totally
instant
good.
turn off. Like you're like, okay, this relationship's over. Ew, why did I even never like you? Ew, like it's
Yeah.
crazy how fast like I used to be like not in my most previous relationship that was like 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, the one before that. I would like literally cry at the fact, like I would be like, oh my God, I could never leave this person. What would like I
Uh-huh.
could never nah, nah. Now that
Mhm.
I think about all the things that I went through, how the fuck did I even stay? Cringe as fuck, disgusting as fuck. Like, yeah, you're right. Once I see a red flag and like something, you do something that's just like, no, I'm mentally I clock out and physically I clock out and I'm like, look, bro, let's be homies from a distance because I can't fuck with you like this. It's too much. You got some healing to do.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I don't know. It's disappointing because I feel like a lot of men are like thinking that it makes them look weak to go to therapy, and so
No,
there's so much unresolved for them, and they end up in these cycles where they just keep going over and over again, and they're not finding happiness. And like in any type of feminism that's out there, men should be included in it, because without men being in a healthy state, there's never truly going to be like equality for women. You know what I mean? So like,
mhm.
yes, it has to be about women, like, and the oppression that still goes on with women, but we also have to realize that men need to be in a healthy place too in
I
order for this to
agree.
go forward. Yeah.
I agree. I talk to my brothers a lot. I talk to my younger brothers that live with me a lot about like, I'm always here for you if you need to talk. And throughout the years, my mom has taught them about spirituality as well. So they have gifts and they become more open up with they opened up a lot with their emotional side. And I think it's a beautiful thing when a man or a woman can be vulnerable and like open up to you and tell you how they're feeling. And it's crazy to see like today, like my brother was talking about, he's a half brother, so we have different dads. So he was talking about a situation with his father, and he's like, yeah, I remember when I was a kid, like I was only 3 years old, but I remember he did this, and like now I can't do this because of that. And I'm just like, isn't that crazy that like we remember these things as children and we hold on to them and they affect us as adults, and like subconsciously, like we go most of our life without thinking about that, but it's true. Like our parents really, like how we were treated as children and what we went through as children really does affect us. And to see him open up about that and be emotional, I was just like, I don't know, it made my heart happy, not because of like how he's feeling, but just for the simple fact that he can acknowledge that and like talk about it. I think that's like, I admire that about anybody that can talk about how they're feeling.
Oh, I agree too. It takes a lot more strength to share how you're feeling and be vulnerable about something that may not be accepted well by who you're telling than it is to close up and completely push somebody away.
Mhm.
Um, and I think unfortunately that's how a lot of men deal with problems is
They
closing up and
suppress
pushing people
it.
away.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it makes me sad. I mean, women do too, but it's mostly for men because they're conditioned to think that having emotions is like makes you weak and
Uh-huh.
makes you quote unquote gay, whatever. But I think
Mhm.
I don't know, when it makes me sad to think that people don't have at least one person that they can vent to or talk to. Like I used to be the type of person that would suppress everything, and then that's when you snap. That's when you start doing things that you get into you start getting these vices, you start like self-harming, or you start getting into drugs, whatever, like drugs, alcohol, like you just start like withering away. And I think once you learn to at least have one person you can be um open with, and even if that's yourself, like writing in a journal or just talking out loud to yourself, it's important to like speak about what you're going through and how you're feeling, because you can't suppress
Mhm.
that shit forever or you will drown. You will fucking drown, and it's not a fun thing. It's not fun to be in a dark, it's like what the abyss, like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like a never ending abyss, like that shit, you got to pull yourself out of there.
Yeah. And like I know this is going to piss some people off, but like my theory on why most men cheat is because they're insecure and they need to have validation from other women.
Yeah.
So like they
Mm-hmm.
get into these relationships with somebody, they get comfortable, and then once they're comfortable, like they're not feeling validated anymore because it's the same person they've been with. So they seek out other women to get that validation from because they are insecure and they need it to feel, like
Ooh,
they're wanted, etc. So
yeah.
I mean, of course, there's many other reasons. Like, some people have been through different abuse and sexual trauma in their life that causes them to do things like that, and mad other things. But I think, for me, at least, I believe one of the most common reasons that men cheat is because they are literally insecure and need the validation.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. That makes a lot of sense, especially if because I think men, like their emotional side, they process things differently and at a different speed. So what they went through as a child, whether it be abuse or just neglect, that's why they seek validation. That's why they seek a new thrill. That's why they seek new experiences with different women, because they do want to feel that temporary, like, ooh, I can still get a woman, or ooh, this girl likes me, or ooh, like it makes them feel powerful. But at the end of the day, like, no, like it's just gonna be this cycle of cheating and then feeling bad. And then like it's just it's so damaging to your soul
Hmm.
to go through that and not face those demons and talk about what you went through and just express what you went through, even if it's with yourself. Like I said, I think that you're so right. Like that's why I think that is one of the main reasons why men cheat, and
Hmm.
because most of them are fucking stupid. But
Yeah, I know because like the first thing they do is start like actually like okay, not all of them cry, but if they're gonna,
oh,
when
bro,
you
I talked about this in my last
confused,
episode, bruh.
yeah, but when they finally get around, when you find out, that's the only time the waterworks are coming up, and then they're
Oh
no, don't
yeah,
leave. It was a mistake. I shouldn't have done it. Blah blah
their
blah. And
fucking excuses. They'd be like, Oh my God, I didn't mean to do it. My dog ate my homework in 6th grade. That's why I did it. Like, what,
I
bitch?
know. No accountability at all. No
How about you're just a
accountability.
piece of shit and you need to work on yourself, or you're just a piece of shit? Like, what do you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I
No
don't.
excuse to cheat. There's
It
no.
blows my mind even more when men with daughters do that shit. I'm like,
Oh
would
my,
you want,
right?
I know, like, would you want your daughter to be grown one day and have men doing this to her?
Bro.
Like,
That's
I don't understand.
that's what I think about when people like stay with, like, let's say you have a kid together or multiple kids and you guys have the ugliest, toxic, most nastiest relationship and you're showing that to your children, but you want to stay because you want to stay with for the children because you
Hmm.
like, no, no, you're not showing them what love is about. Like they're going to grow up and think that being hit or being yelled at or whatever the case may be is okay and that's love. Like, no, fuck that. Like,
So much worse. Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. Like when I hear people say that they stay with each other just because they have kids, like we're staying for the kid. Like what?
No, yeah,
No,
that's
you're
crazy.
actually damaging them even more because kids adapt. Kids are like they can adapt fast because they're
Yes.
so freaking innocent. Like they literally will adapt so fast. And so for you to like just stay with someone just because you guys had a kid, nah, I could never, ever. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's I mean, it's kind of like I get what they're trying to say. Like they want to have them seeing their parents together. But if seeing their
Yeah.
parents together is seeing like toxic situations and abusive situations, then no, that's not better. Like
Yeah.
better
I mean,
off to
if it's like,
separate your lives.
yeah, if
Yeah.
it's something that's quiet, like things that you deal like, because usually parents, if they're fighting, they'll do it in front of their kids. Now, if it's something that you deal with behind closed doors and they have no idea what's going on, and you want to go to therapy and you want to work on it and blah blah blah, then that's way different than what I'm saying is like fighting and being physical in front of kids. Like that shit's crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Ugh.
That's
I
so
don't know, man. In this world, there's so many things that the issues, it's like it seems so simple. Like, why can't people just do it? Ah, it's so frustrating.
right. Just
Like,
I don't
ugh,
know. It's the most simple things that people can't grasp, which is sad because it makes me feel like our mind, like we're just so like disassociating all the time. Like we're not in touch with reality. We're sitting in the lobby, like Steph says, if we're just like chilling, like in our thoughts, we're in the lobby in our brain.
yeah,
We're in the
yes,
lobby.
yep. I
Yeah.
love when he said that. It makes so much sense.
I know.
Like,
I want to do a painting of it because, like, I'm like, oh my God, I
oh,
love that because it makes sense. Like, you're just in the lobby.
we should make him put that on a shirt. Like, it's freaking brilliant.
Yeah, Steph, if you're listening to this, which you fucking better be listening. Just kidding. Put that shit
Put
on it.
that shit
Hey,
on a
this
shirt.
is Steph's homework. Listen, Steph, if after we put this fucking episode out and if you don't talk about this damn shirt we're telling you to design, you're fake. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no. Okay, Steph, I'm real sorry. There's so much information in here you probably didn't want to hear as my like brother, but I'm sorry.
No, we didn't even say anything crazy. We didn't even have any sexual topics. We're okay. With the shit that Steph here, we literally say anything in front of Steph. Steph has heard everything from us. Like
Yeah, he just usually he's so respectful.
he is.
He's
Steph is
supportive.
literally like one of my most like he's just dope. Like he's just like if we say something out of pocket, like something sexual or as crazy as like, just woman shit, he's always just like quiet as hell, or he's just like I don't he just says these certain things that make me laugh. Like he's just funny.
He'll be like, drink some water,
Yeah.
or
If
what
you
does he
say I
say?
love you, if you say I love
Yeah,
you to him, he'll be like, drink some water. Or he'll say, relax, drink some
yeah,
water.
relax. Yeah, if we're saying wild shit, he'll just be like, relax.
It's so funny. That man has heard everything. That's great
I
though. I
know.
love
I
that.
love Steph so much. Yeah,
I
that's
know,
like our
me
brother,
too.
bro.
He
Oh,
is.
you gonna get him on this thing?
I have to, of course. I
Yeah.
gotta talk to him. I have a whole bunch of people I want to hear that want to be on here. I just got to get that, you know, figured out. But oh my gosh,
Well,
I
you just
love
gotta make
this.
sure his ass is awake.
Oh my God, nah, it's
He
gonna be me
can't be
talking, and then 1 second he's gonna be snoring, bitch. This Steph literally will be on all on the phone call, and we'll be like, yeah, yeah. Steph will be like, yeah, 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 and then literally 2 seconds later, like, how the fuck, bro? How do you fall asleep so fast?
I don't know. It's comical. Like we could literally write like a book and have each of our characters in it because of how like funny and distinctive we each are. Like
I
we
know.
really could.
I love it. I love
I
our
know.
friendship dynamic. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
We
Me
all
too.
we've never, none of us have ever argued. We've never like, I love it. Like we're just we're gonna build our compound, guys. You guys listen. We're gonna buy land and we're gonna build a compound and we're just gonna be living life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the
Let's
plan. We're planning
go.
it. We're manifesting that shit. Speaking of
Yeah.
manifesting, tonight's the 20th, the full moon in Pisces. So it's a great night to let go of things that no longer serve you. And then on the 22nd, bring things in your life that you want. Manifest that shit on the 22nd. Write that shit down. Eat it, drink it, breathe it, all that shit.
That new moon, man, is going to be everything. I just spent like a couple of hours cleansing like all the counters and the floors in my house and like putting out some water for moon water and cleansing my
Yes.
crystals.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, this is gonna be out after, but next full any moon, you put out some water
Hmm.
outside or in your window and let the moon hit that shit and drink it. Drink it. What I did last time was I wrote down my manifestations. I put it outside with a cup of water and I put my manifestations underneath the cup of water and I drank that shit. And I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of them are slowly coming, but they're coming. And I'm super
Hmm.
excited for this moon. It's a good moon to let go of shit that doesn't serve you. And the 22nd, I'm jumping on the train and I'm manifesting literally in detail. I'm drawing it out what I
Hmm.
want because I feel it coming. Like I feel it coming. It's coming. It's already ours. It's already mine. Like
Hmm.
I love it. I
Ooh,
love it.
we should do that thing where we print out like a grid of the land we want to have and what it looks like and each tweak it a little bit to be how we like it.
Oh,
Until we all
yes.
come, yeah, like we have enough time that we could do that. We could find a
You
way.
have 2 days. Okay, let's work on it tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh my
definitely.
God, oh my God, oh my
Mm.
God, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Okay, I already actually at work, I actually already did draw out like what I would want it to look like. But
Mhm.
of course, it's like I would want everyone to like make it look like what they want it to look like. But like I envision like a compound of just like having a huge ass garden, a shit ton of trees, some, like you said, a stream of water. I definitely want some animals. Like, I don't know. I think that living far away from like the crazy loud cities, not too far, but far enough, like 30, 40, maybe an hour away from that shit, will be
Mhm.
so amazing for our souls. Like, I would like just being around you guys would be amazing for my soul. Like, I'm so hyped. It's gonna happen.
Yes, I'm very hype about it too, and I believe it's gonna happen. We're manifesting this shit. We're all gonna mass manifest it together, and it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, hyper sigil, bitch. This is a mass manifestation. Everyone put your fucking manifestations on paper and let's
Let's
go.
go.
Let's
Yes.
fucking go. Yeah,
Mm.
but I don't know. I think about that a lot. I think about the Florida trip a lot because I was so happy. That's the first time I felt like my soul was so like how could I say it was like glowing. Like
Yeah.
I felt like I was glowing within
Hmm.
being
I just
surrounded
kind
by.
of felt like we all intensified each other's energy, and
Yes.
like we all had such an understanding of each other that we could just be entirely ourselves, and we were
I
all totally
know.
cool with that. Like you don't have to have any worry about judgment, and we all are so encouraging to each other in our dreams and like anything that we want to achieve. And I think that is so special, and some people don't experience that with even one friend in their whole life.
I
So
know that
like,
makes me sad, but you're right.
mhm,
Like a few of
yeah.
us have met once before, but the Florida trip is when a lot of us met for the first time, and I felt like we've known each other for so long. I felt comfortable. It
Mhm.
felt right. So I'm super excited for our future plans to have a compound. Like I'm just, even if we don't, like not, we're not, we are, we will. It's already ours. I can't wait to travel more with my friends and create memories and like just fucking win, you know?
Yeah. So maybe like we're all friend soulmates, you know? Like
I
maybe
think
we are.
so. That's why I call you my
Yeah.
soul sister. I feel really in
Yeah.
connection with like everyone in in our group chat and like you guys. I don't know. You guys complete me.
Yeah.
There's still
I
a void. Don't get me wrong. There's still a void, but you guys complete me.
Oh man, I don't think anybody should complete anybody. I feel like we just elevate each
No,
other.
you're
So like
right. You're right.
whoever we are is just elevated by the others that we're with whenever they're that encouraging and like send all of this good energy to you. It's
Yes.
kind of like you're always you, but they just kind of like magnify the good things about yourself that you're trying to achieve, you know?
Yeah,
And I
I
love that.
100% you're right. Yeah.
I
I'm over here
love
like
it.
nobody completes you. You complete yourself. And then I'm like, you guys complete me.
Well, it's a good way to put it when somebody's really meaningful to you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, it's
yeah.
something most other people could relate to. Blah, that just ran together, but yeah.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's so sad that some people don't experience this. Like that makes me sad because, as an empath, I'm just like, I want everyone to have at least one person that they can love and talk to and shit like that. And I don't
Mm.
know. I'm so lucky to have a lot of people. And this year has like really shown me a lot. And I've learned a lot. And I've lost people and I've gained people. And I would just like to say that even though like we're human and we have our days, like there's no complaints over here. Like I'm learning every day. I'm evolving. I'm ascending. Like there's just so much coming, and I know it's going to be great, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the more open-minded we become to whatever could mean happiness to ourselves, that the like further we ascend, you know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I kind of hope this is like my last life, but maybe even if I had to do one more, that would be cool. But I can tell you my soul is fucking tired. My
Yeah.
soul is tired. I don't want to keep doing this. Like,
Girl,
ugh,
I fucking felt that. I know for a fact this is my last life, but I strongly believe this is your last life as well. I
yeah.
I think once you get to the point of like of feeling tired, exhausted of just I hate saying this, but like I don't know how to put it. I just think that
The
I'm
life experience.
yeah, the life
Mhm.
experience of just of working for what? Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
happy to be here and I'm happy I get to be surrounded by beautiful people and things. It's just what comes with the capitalism, the rules, the not owning your own body. Like that's just I'm good off that. Like
Mhm.
I'm not here for that. Good. Some
Yeah.
people are okay with it and they like it. And those people
Mhm.
are weird. I'm sorry. They're
Yeah.
weird.
It's kind of like I would rather not be here at all than to be a prisoner to all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, take
but
me
you can't.
out. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
like you can't do anything, without approval from the government and taxation. Like that, you can't even collect rainwater. Like you can't. Like it's illegal. Like what the hell? You know what I mean? So like it's just wild. How many rules there are now? Like I saw something the other day was talking about the amount of rules that are going on now compared to when the French Revolution or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know, one of those. And I was thinking, they're kind of right, because you could do all of this other shit back then, and now we can't do any of it without approval from the government. Like that's kind of
It's
crazy.
literally sickening how we have to pay for things that the earth provides. The earth
Hmm.
provides everything that we need to survive, and yet here we are paying for electricity and water and yeah, it's nice to have a house with like fucking drywall and shit, but technically we could live in a fucking like shack made out of bamboo. You know what I'm saying? Like the earth
Hmm.
provides everything that we need to survive, yet here we are suffering. 95% of people, probably more, are suffering every day just to barely get by and
Yeah.
still not have legal rights to our bodies or to our land or anything. Like it is insane and I'm over it. Fuck this shit.
Yeah. I don't know. On one hand, I think to myself, like, okay, so like what if like we all just had the freedom to take what we wanted and build what we wanted? Because how can somebody just say they own pieces of the earth? It's a planet, like nobody really owns it. We all live upon it. We all have
Right?
the right to exist on it. But then I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, it would probably be like Mad Max and the Thunderdome in this bitch, because there's some evil people in this
Well,
world.
yeah,
Like,
no, I think that there needs to be like, obviously there needs to be some rules, but
mm,
to make sure shit like that doesn't happen. But to the extent that the laws and like, I don't know that, like I said, we don't even own our own bodies. Like we don't,
yeah.
nothing is ours. And to me, that's sickening. Like Yeah, I can sit here and be like, yeah, this is my body, and yeah, I own this house, and yeah, like I own this land, and whatever, I own this car. But at the end of the day, no, no, we don't. We're all like we're literally tied to like a social security number. We're tied to numbers. We're tied to the government. It's gross.
Yeah. It feels really dystopian. Like it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys read 1984, but I just bought it the other day so I could read it again because it feels like a lot of the shit is just the way it is now. And that dude wrote that book ages ago, so it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like we've already been on here for over an hour. We could talk all night.
Oh, child, we always and we didn't even get into anything super deep. When we started
I
talking about
know.
super deep stuff, we can really be on some shit. Like I was kind of sad because yesterday we were talking about something super deep last night, and then I got a phone call, which I wanted the phone call, but then I was like sad because we were really in the middle of like a deep discussion on shit, and we hadn't had that opportunity in a long time. So I always love
I
because a lot of
know.
the people in degging are like super smart. So I always love when we get on those topics where we can just really dig deep into our brains and like discuss our differences or thoughts on things.
Yes. And there's never judgment or like, I love
Mm.
listening to other people's opinions and their experiences and what they think. And so, but okay, so like just because you were on this episode, don't mean you can't be on another one because yeah, I feel like we barely even like dipped our toes into what we usually talk about. So we definitely have to come together again and and talk more because
Yeah.
if only y'all could hear what we talk about like almost every day. Like
Oh man, people would pay to be a fly on the wall for some
I
of our
know they
conversations.
really would. It's great. It's great.
Mm,
Well,
yeah.
thanks for being a guest. Thanks for being a guest on the third episode.
Yes,
I appreciate
anytime.
you. I don't know why, but like the intro and the outro is making me nervous. Like it's just not me. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I feel like I'm like interviewing you, but you're like my best friend. So, but
Oh yeah.
I'm just
Wait,
gonna
I got
go.
this. I got this. I got this. Hey, this is Britt with the Gutted podcast, and you just heard me talking to Mandari Noir. And thanks for
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah, what she said. But no, on a serious note, I have just a few company updates real fast. My merch is dropping on the 27th. So follow the social medias. I'll have them in the description. This is just a small drop. There's going to be another one in a few weeks, but there's a lot coming for merch and for the production side of the company. There's a lot coming, and I'm super excited. Um, Follow Mandari on all her social medias. Where can they find you? Where can they find you?
So on Instagram, it's under Mandari underscore Noir. On Facebook, it's Mandari Noir. Twitter, Mandari Noir. It's consistent. My name is everywhere, Noir. So find
Yes,
me.
follow her or else. Okay. Um,
Uh,
she is in the recent issue 28, part 4 of Art of Nude magazine. So
yeah.
go ahead and cop that so you can see the beautiful Mandari. You're naked, right? Because it says Art of Nude.
Oh yeah, I'm
She's
naked a lot, guys.
naked.
Don't follow me on social media if you have any issue
If
with
you don't want
that
to see
because
titties and ass, don't follow
uh,
her.
yeah,
Okay. But I
it's
suggest you follow her to see the titties and ass.
bodies are art. I love human
Yes.
bodies, okay? I love being naked. I think people are beautiful. That's just all.
Yes.
So,
Go check out her Instagram for real though, because she has the most amazing pictures. Like every time I see pictures of her, I'm just like, she's so beautiful. Like the
thank
pictures
you
are
so
so
much.
good. I love them. You're so
Oh,
beautiful, and your soul is even more beautiful. Um,
oh,
so
thank
yeah, so
you.
that's pretty much it for the third episode. I also wanted to like plug in that if you want to be a guest, go ahead and hit me up on social media, or my if you know me personally, you can hit me up. And I still want to co-host maybe. So if you want to be a co-host, meaning that you would have to be on every episode, um message me so we can figure that out. But yeah, I never know how to fucking end episodes. I'm just like, "Ee." I never know how to end them. But okay, thanks for listening, guys, and make sure to subscribe. And I'll see you in. Well, I'll not see you, but you'll hear me in the next episode.
Yes,
Bye.
energy. Bye.